On a sunny day at the end of January in Cape Town, I finally received the box of goodies Winkli sent me. I could not resist taking a look at what was in the box. Initially, I thought it was just the GPU, but he told me later that there was enough in the box to build a really sick Xeon video editing machine. He ordered X79 kit from AliExpress, and it included a Xeon E5 2650 V2 version 2 and 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM with another 16 gigabytes of DDR3 for a total of 32, which makes that my first 32 gigabyte PC build ever. So the GPU he sent me is a GTX 780, which he kind of worked on himself to get the thermals nice. Please salute him in the comments. After roping in my bro Yuri, we set off to buy some thermal paste and a fresh battery for the motherboard. We grabbed a refurbished case fan for good measure. I gathered all my components and tools and set off on stripping my white case from its current occupant, which is the AM1 build. My plan was to move the new Xeon X79 board into the white case, but I soon discovered that the case was not going to be a good fit without extensive modifications. I then decided to sell the case with the original AM1 board at a good price to the buyer and set off building the PC without a case for the time being. So test fitting the motherboard, the cooler and the GPU out in the open was a bit scary, but I managed to power it up and it went right to the BIOS like a champ. For the hard drive, I chose a Seagate Barracuda 250 gigabyte SSD. This motherboard does have an NVMe slot for boot installations, but I could not afford one at the time. This will have to do for now. I decided to try my special Windows 11 installation method to try and see if this little monster would be happy running it. After completing the installation process onto the SSD, I was happy to find that Windows 11 was purring like a kitten on this exotic build. Hopefully I won't have any trouble in the future, but who knows. This monster was always intended to be my first ever high power video editing rig. Of course, I had to install Adobe Premiere and see if I could make it run and if it would run at all. And I immediately opened a project that I was having a lot of trouble working on with other machines. As you can see, it plays back good enough to see what's going on, and if used on half resolution, the playback is flawless, which is just what the doctor ordered. After digging around on Facebook Marketplace, I saw a nice old case that once housed the 7th Gen i7. It still has a sticker on the front, and I'm going to leave it there. The case matched this thermal strategy that I was going for, with a side panel fan mounted after dry fitting the motherboard and the 3.5 hard drive, the 3.5 inch. I realized that there would be a limited space for the GTX 780 to slip in. Removing the hard drive and heatsink allowed me enough clearing to swing in the GPU carefully. Poor thing is going to get pretty hot down there. Cheers. Another good way to compare a build to a previous machine I've worked on is to run a program called Cinebench. It's always fun to see the different cores all working together, doing their thing. With the task manager open, I enjoyed watching the cores go at it full blast, which was pretty cool. After running the 10-minute benchmark program, I ended up with a score of 5,629, which is by far the strongest build I've ever slapped together. I'm so happy and very excited to put this little monster to good use. And thanks Winkli.